Traders, I have got so many juicy trade setups for all you swingers out there.
How juicy?
Because it's time for the weekly forecast. Welcome to Simply Forex. If you want to improve as a trader, then you're definitely in the right place. Each week, I'm going to give you easy to follow trade ideas, tips, and advice so you too can succeed at trading. And if you stay till the end of the vid, I'm going to share with you all of my weekly trade setups, all of my swing trades for the entire week.
What you gonna do, Derek? Show me the money!
So stay tuned. And if you like what you hear, guys, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button. Merci beaucoup. So let's get stuck in, guys, right? And we are going to start with yen, right? Because on Friday, if we go down to the day chart, on Friday, this is Swiss franc yen, and I was selling this pair, but look at that yen sell-off, right? And on the daily chart, right, this, is looking like still a pretty good selling opportunity. Okay, so intraday, daily chart, a good selling opportunity. But if we look at the bigger picture, right, if we look at the weekly chart, because we are looking for swing trades, right, then are we seeing, yen strength, here to stay, or are we just seeing, a retrace of this uptrend back to a level where we can start buying? And I would say the latter is true because we just follow trend, right? And this is the weekly chart. And like I say, guys, because these are swing trades, this is what we're looking at. And I would be looking to buy this pair once it retraces a little bit further into this level. You've got the moving average 20 here. You've got this nice level of support as well. And I think this would be an excellent buying opportunity, right? Whereas the daily, it's an excellent selling opportunity, right? So you can really see the difference between intraday trades and swing trades. And if, as we are looking at swing trades, if we take a look at the monthly, right, nothing's changed here. This is still a buy all day for me, right? We just look at this, right? We're clearly in an uptrend. We never broke these lows. We got nice bullish wicks. We've got a bullish monthly candle, and we've got all this room to move into back up to here. All right. So ultimately, guys, I am still looking to capitalize on yen weakness. All right. But like I say, I want to see price come down here first. And also, yen pairs are not a trade idea because of all this bearish selling off, right? I would need to see price come into here and we start to see some buyers come back into the market, maybe a candle like this. But I just wanted to, pick up on that yen strength that we saw Friday. Okay, so that's how I'm going to trade yen pairs. But now, guys, let's get stuck into my actual trade ideas. And the catalyst for my trade ideas, or a lot of them, is Canadian dollar weakness. Canadian dollar is weaker than a wet paper bag, and they are weak. Let me assure you. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, CAD weakness, right? And let's take a quick look at oil, because we know there's a correlation between oil strength. If oil is strong, Canadian dollar is strong. And just look at oil, right? It is weak as a paper bag as well.
It's so weak.
Although it is coming into a support level, but we've had a sell-off with oil as well. Okay. And if we go to US dollar, Canadian dollar, okay, this is probably one of the only US dollar pairs I would trade, okay? Because if we look at the weekly chart, you can clearly see we have broken this key level with this weekly candle. That is a clear break, okay? We was wondering, will this level hold? And it hasn't. And then you need to really zoom out, right? Because the next level up is basically these levels in here, okay? And that, represents our target, okay? So if I zoom back in now, yeah, all I'd be looking to do, guys, was get a retrace into here somewhere, and then we can start buying US dollar, Canadian dollar as a swing, a longer term trade. Now, let's compare this US dollar pair with other US dollar pairs, right? If we look at US dollar Swiss franc, this is at an area of resistance, right? Not interested. If you know, it's the same for a lot of US dollar pairs. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, right? This has held on to this weekly level, right? This is suggesting US dollar weakness potentially, right? Let's look at another one. Let's look at Euro US dollar, right? Yeah, come down to this key weekly support level. So US dollar, pretty much on all the other pairs, I would be staying away from because they are at, you know, important support or resistance levels. But US dollar, Canadian dollar, it is not. It has clearly broken, right? This is US dollar CAD. So US dollar, Canadian dollar buy is one of my trade ideas for this week. And we can see this CAD weakness come into other pairs now. Okay, so let's carry on with the Canadian dollar pairs. My next trade idea is Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. And it's all about this channel that we're seeing on the higher time frame. You can see this channel here, right? And this trend line down the bottom. Excuse my lines. It's not easy to draw with a mouse pen, especially when you've been drinking.
It's not easy.
So yeah, here we are, guys, right? We're at the bottom of that trend line. And, you know, have we had a weekly structure break here? You know, maybe with this candle, but just look at all of the wicks here. All of these wicks on these last three candles is telling me buyers just want to keep coming in. Sellers are keep pushing it down. But, you know, once sellers give up, this could really shoot off. We're potentially taking it all the way back up to here. Now, if we look at the day chart, right, we're getting a bounce off that level. Okay, now you could trade this aggressively with a H4 break, which is what I'm going to do. And let me just show you that quickly. So H4, we have broken. When the market opens on Monday, I would potentially get a little retrace into here, and then I'd look to buy Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. That would be an aggressive entry. The less aggressive entry would be the day chart. But obviously, we would need to see a lot of things happen, right? Because, you know, this is, I mean, arguably this is still in an uptrend because it's held onto these lows and it still hasn't broken these lows, right? So, you know, potentially this is an uptrend. I know you're thinking that doesn't look like an uptrend, but has it broken the last lows? I would argue not. Or if you want to be more conservative, maybe we get something like this and then we get a build up of the day chart and then we can start buying this pair potentially all the way up to here. All right, but Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar buys, and this Canadian dollar weakness continues. If we look at New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, obviously highly correlated with Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. It's pretty much the same trade, right? We've got this long-term channel. Look at my lines. They are getting worse. It's not this mouse pen, right? It's not me, honestly. So you can see this trend line at the bottom, guys, right? It's respecting it. And again, if we zoom in, look at that weekly candle bouncing off of that trend line, right? Now, again, you know, is this in a downtrend? It's a tricky one because at this point, that is the last low. That low never breaks. And then this low never breaks. All of these wicks close back into one another. Okay, but there is, you know, a lower high there. But just because of all these wicks and all the buying pressure at these lows here, I would be interested in buying all the way potentially back up to this level here. All right. Again, let's take a quick look at the day chart, but it will be similar to Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, right? You could trade the H4 break, or this is the daily, and perhaps we get something like this, right? And then eventually we get a break of the day chart. And then I would be all over this like a cheap suit, right? So New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar buys. I've got so many trades to share with you guys. And if you're enjoying the trade analysis, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. And please leave a comment, guys. Let me know which trade ideas you like. Let me know what you are looking at this week in terms of trade ideas. We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment. Merci beaucoup. I don't know why I've turned French today.
You speak French now too?
Un petit peu.
Right, is there any more Canadian dollar weakness? No. My next trade is Euro New Zealand dollar. And this is also interesting, right? We've got a bit of contradiction here with pound New Zealand dollar, okay? So if we look at the weekly chart, remember these are swing trades, guys. This is why we're looking at the weekly. And you can see that we are clearly in an uptrend, right? With Euro New Zealand dollar, we're getting higher highs, higher lows. Potentially this is the new higher low, okay? And because we've had this nice bullish wick on the bottom of this candle, right, bouncing off of this support level, the idea is just to come back up to these weekly highs here, okay? And there's lots of room in there, okay? So Euro New Zealand dollar buys. But now what I'm going to show you is quite contradictory, because I'm going to show you pound New Zealand dollar, and I think this has a little bit of room to the downside, right? If we look at the weekly chart, right, we are in an uptrend, but we are reacting very bearishly at these last highs, right? Look at since we've hit this high, look at these candles, bearish, bearish, more bearish. Okay, so the idea with pound New Zealand dollar is just to come back down to this level of what was once resistance becomes support. And we got the moving average 20 here. And like I always say on the weekly chart, the moving average 20 is a good target. So I think this has a bit of room to the downside. So if you think about what I've just told you guys, I've said Euro New Zealand buys and pound New Zealand sells. Right? So that would suggest euro is far stronger than the pound. So you would think euro pound buy would be a good trade idea. And that is the correct thinking, but it doesn't always work like that, right? Because if I show you the weekly chart, right, we are bouncing off this key level of support in here, right? And if I zoom into the weekly chart, you can now see this euro strength coming in off this level and pound weakness. But it hasn't led to a trade, yeah, because we're still in a weekly downtrend. This is in a downtrend, but we do have a nice big bullish candle bouncing off support. All right, but yeah, hasn't manifested into a trade idea. Okay, but I just wanted to share that with you because this is how you should look at and you should cross-reference against currencies so the whole bigger picture makes sense to you, right? So yeah, that's euro pound. Not a trade idea, but just wanted to show you that. What else are we looking at? There's more trades, guys, right? Yeah, if we look at any of the indices, these are at nice levels. Okay, so if we look at NASDAQ, right, on the weekly, we broke these key highs with this candle. We've had a nice retrace. Can we go higher? Right. But I prefer, and, you know, same with Dow Jones, right? Looking like a break, retest to go higher. But the one I really like is the S&P. Okay, because this is literally at a level, right? If we look at the weekly chart, right, clearly in this weekly uptrend, we've broke this level here, we've retraced to it, and I think if we get some, you know, structure breaks and some bullish momentum in here, we can take price back up to these highs, if not further, because of the maniac Trump effect. So indices are interesting this week as well. We'd look to buy those. And guys, I've got one final trade idea. Before I share it, if I could just ask everyone to please subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, but also please come join our trading community. We have a free Discord channel where you can come in, share knowledge, chat to other traders. So join it. It's free. Why the hell not?
Do it now.
And also, don't forget to join me for the live streams through the week as well, guys. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 a.m. New York EST time. And the last one, I'm still keeping an eye on Euro Swiss franc. I've been keeping my beady little eye on this one for some time.
You keep an eye on this.
And if we look at the monthly, right, this is what's kind of guiding me, really. Okay, so we've got this was once in a downtrend. But ever since we got this break here, higher highs, we're actually in a monthly uptrend, right? We are. Okay, and this low is holding. This is like a double bottom pattern, right? I'm sure you're familiar with that. You know, and it suggests we could make it back up to here, right? But, you know, that could take months. This is the monthly chart. Okay, but you can see we're getting lots of, look at all these wicks. Yeah, look at these bottom wicks. Lots of buying pressure in here. Okay, then if we transfer that to the weekly chart, I know we are in a weekly downtrend, right? We are. But then prices come down here and it has just been absolutely crappy.
Crap.
From a weekly point of view. But this level is not breaking, right? And as long as that level keeps holding, I think buys from in here, potentially back up to this weekly high here, you know, even further, but the moving average 20 will catch up with this high. So just taking price back up to this blue line and this 9435 level. Okay, so Euro Swiss franc buys as well. I'm just checking if that is all of my trade ideas. There's one more thing I want to show you guys, and it's silver. Ha-ha!
Silver?
That's my pirate impression. Now, again, with the dollar, I showed you earlier on, guys, right? We've got this, you know, US dollar CAD is telling us US dollar strength, but a lot of the other US dollar pairs are telling us perhaps we're going to see a dollar strength rebound, okay? And this is a perfect example, right? If you look at the monthly chart, okay, less attractive. But if you look at the weekly chart with silver, right, this is at a real nice level. Okay, we're at the moving average 20 pretty much. This level of support and resistance through here, right? You know, could we see silver bounce off this level, at least back up to here, you know, potentially back up to here. So I'm keeping an eye on silver. Yeah, not necessarily a trade idea, but just keeping an eye on it. And there you go, guys. For all you swingers, I hope you've enjoyed the vid. Please subscribe, like, and share. Don't forget to join our free Discord channel. Have a great trading week, guys. See you later.